Hi everyone, my name is Rodney Smith. I'm here with BoardGameGeek at Gen Con 2019. I've been joined by Keith and Stan of Thunderworks Games, and you brought with you Lock Up.
Yeah.
This is a game set in the role-player universe, right?
That's right, yeah.
But it's not about building a character like
Right.
the original game kicked off.
Right.
This is something very different.
Yeah, it's a different take on the genre. It basically puts you in charge of a gang of creatures that normally despised in the universe.
Right.
And then you're put in this prison, and then you're trying to basically build yourself up so that you can impress the visiting king, and hopefully gain
Is he going to release
freedom.
us?
Well, he's going to send you to a coliseum to fight for your freedom, which is better than just being locked up.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So we're going to sort of get released to go fight somewhere. I'll take my chances with that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So how do we get out of this prison?
So the mechanism of the game is this gang that you have. Each player is going to have the same tiles, which they will take turns placing
Right.
in different areas of the prison. So this is a resource gathering element where you are trying to collect a certain combination of resources,
Right.
and you're also bluffing at the same time. Because the strength on the tiles relates to the strength of your gang, and the strongest gang usually gets better rewards. However, you also attract suspicion because there's going to be suspicion coming out.
The guards are like, what's going on over
Yeah,
here?
yeah. Why are you so?
gathering.
Yeah, you know, the biggest guy in the yard. You know, they
Yeah.
kind of notice it and they kind of look at you sideways. So there's all kinds of bluffing going on, and there's all kinds of misdirection that you can do. You can play up to 2 of your tiles face down
Yeah.
during the phase, but it's also a situation where you can never add to an area, more or less. So
Once you commit to a location, that's your
correct. So
your
there's
vibe, right?
so there's this push your luck, like how much you're gonna commit. If you overcommit, you don't get anything extra because if you're strongest, you're strongest. And then once everybody kind of committed their forces to this to the locations, you will go and resolve them in order, and you will get things like strength, which will make one of your characters' power stronger. You will get different resources. There's scrap. There's potions in the infirmary, there's metal in the smithy,
Right.
there's gold you can get. And then you will make it to the last areas of the prison where you would be able to spend your resources to either get these guys who are goons, they are unaffiliated goons, you can hire them into your gang,
Right.
and they give you different scoring opportunities, but they also bring different things with them. And then eventually you will make your way back to your cell block, and you can use your leftover resources to craft these awesome things like Ratomaton
Sure, yes.
and the crooked pipe.
Right.
You know,
all the essential things you need in
yes,
a prison to survive.
Yes,
right?
and they
Yeah.
will give you victory points. It's one of the major ways to make victory points, but they also often have special abilities, like some of them will increase your holding capacity, some of them
Increase
will
power.
make you stronger.
Yep.
Yeah, the icons in them also matter because there are several different things in the game that you're competing for, and it varies from game to game. So
I thought this was interesting, yeah, because I had a chance to play this once before, and so you have goals at the beginning of the game, like an instant goal. It's only one of us will
Exactly.
claim it. As
Right.
soon as you get it, it's yours.
Exactly.
But that's just one of the types of goals. The other one is an end game, so at the end we know this is something we can be working towards.
Correct.
And I guess there's a leader goal, which I believe, as soon as you get this, you take the card.
Right.
Correct.
But if someone else can then exceed it, they'll take it. So it's a
Right.
little
Right.
back and forth
Right.
struggle,
Right.
tug of war
It
for
kinda-
more points,
yeah,
right?
it's kind of like the longest road in Settlers of Catan in a lot of ways.
Right.
And we felt it was really thematic too, because you're all, it's a very much, you know, what they sometimes call knife fight in the phone booth kind
Sure,
of game.
yes,
And
yeah.
so you're like, give me that card, I'm beating you now, and you're taking it away from me. So it helps kind of immerse people into this like world of being in this dungeon and just like scraping to survive, and you know, it's trying to take stuff away. It's whoever does the most, but it also whoever impedes the other player. You can't just
Right.
do your own thing like a lot of Euro games. There's definitely like a Euro element to it
Yes,
as far as
yep.
resource gathering, but there's also like you can't just mind your own business. Like this is not the place to mind your own
You
business.
can't because everyone's getting in your business. That was
Right.
when I was playing. And the other thing that's interesting about when you're playing your tiles down is you can put as many tiles down as you want at once. So if you really want to make a strong vibe for like one of these locations, that's great. But now you have less tokens.
Right.
So you might be through your tokens when everyone else still has more to go,
Right.
and now you're not in there to compete.
And they're getting
It's-
stuff for really cheap,
Yeah,
right?
really
Because,
cheap.
Yeah.
You overcommitted basically
Right.
to the one thing.
And then the catch-up mechanism, there's a bunch of books in the library, so whenever you get nothing because you got muscled out,
Right.
your guys go in the library and they borrow some books and they try to,
Yes.
you know, learn.
Try to learn a little bit.
Right.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And that's a
All
lot
right.
of scheming come from this, like this,
These
you
are like
know,
your special powers,
yeah,
right?
like,
you can use
like
during your
they're
turn.
really humorous too. I really like how they made like this one is a brief history of crime.
Sure.
You know, and so players don't know these cards that you may hold in your hand, so that gives you, because they break rules of the game, you could do what you just mentioned when you put a whole bunch of tokens, and people think, well, he's overcommitted, and then you play a card, and you take a couple of them back, and
back
like,
in it.
oh no, that ruins people's plans. So it's really unpredictable. It's a lot of fun, the way the goons come out, the way that the items come out, the goals. They change the game without having to learn a lot of extra rules.
Right.
You don't have to relearn how to play it, but you can't have like a winning strategy. Like, what's your winning strategy? It depends, and it depends on other players, which is always something that I think feels great. That it's like, well, it's because I'm playing you, it's going to play out different than if I'm playing Pete.
And this is a double-sided board, correct?
Right. So this is the 1 to 2 player side, and the other side plays 3 to 5 players.
Right, so 3 to 5. And the game is played over, I believe, 6 rounds, right?
That's correct.
So you go through 6 rounds, and then at the end of it, you score up and see who had the greatest reputation, right?
So the final scoring is your goons will give you some set collection bonuses. There's some collections, like you mentioned, there are goals. But you have a pretty good idea where you are, but there's that 20% extra which can put you over the top, so you don't never really lose hope. You can be 10 points behind, and often you'll win by a point.
No, the game I played, the first game I played, we were doing very different things, and by the end, we were surprised, like, I thought you were just kicking my butt. But it's like, no, we were still in it.
It'll surprise you, sometimes. So that's.
And I gotta say, these trays are pretty great too, because on the one side, of course, you keep this hidden. It's a secret, right? And you'll play them face up or face down. But on the opposite side, you can actually see the other players in the jail cells.
Yeah, that was a really neat addition that they did during, when they were working out all the production. I was kind of advocating for having tile holders because it's more convenient. It's not really fun.
Right.
But then they took it a step further. They were like, hey,
if I'm going to make tile holders, I'm going to try to come up with the coolest tile holder I can come up with.
I think you did.
Yeah, it's very eye-catching.
So when is this game going to be available?
So this is available in retail. The street date is August 13th, so just a couple weeks away. We have copies of the show. It was on Kickstarter last fall, so backers have had their copies for a couple weeks. So
excellent.
And
others will be able to get their hands on it pretty soon.
Very, very soon.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for the great overview of Lockup, and all of you, thanks for joining us and watching.